We welcome you to the San Fernando Valley Studio City for the Boys SoCal Open Division Regional Championship game. We are on the campus of Harvard-Westlake. It is 1 versus 4 in the state of California. Defending Open Division state champions, the Harvard-Westlake Wolverines host Roosevelt out of Eastlake. Alongside Bill Herenda, I'm Steve Quist. Well, these two teams played, and they were in the championship game of the Open Division Section Championships just 2 weeks ago out of the Inland Empire.
Yeah, so this will be a revenge game, certainly for the Mustangs. And when you look at it from that standpoint, both squads want to extend their season. It's March, and they want to keep it going.
Well, we have some great featured players here in this one. We'll start with Eastvale Roosevelt and their 6'5" five-star guard in Braden Burries.
Yeah, so there you go. When you're in March and you're playing with high stakes, a player like Burries is a guy that you can give the ball to, and he can try to single-handedly extend your season.
For the Harvard-Westlake Wolverines, this guy didn't need any introduction. It's USC-bound Trent Perry. He's been just dynamite in his entire stay, playing perhaps one of his final games, if not his final game, if they don't win tonight for Harvard-Westlake.
That's the salient point, Steve. He doesn't want it to end here, and we know why Trojan fans are so happy and elated that he decided to stay local. And we've watched the evolution of his career, and of course, he wants to keep it going as well tonight.
Again, it's 1 versus 4 in the state, 6 versus 14 in the nation. Let's take a look at the starting lineups here for this SoCal Boys Open Division Championship game. And for Roosevelt, it is Slater, Burries that we talked about. Enik Bogu will start in the middle. Williamson and Walker, 4 really good guards for Roosevelt. And then for Harvard-Westlake, Christian Ori, Nicholas Jimena, who has a number of Division I offers. Dominic Bentho, Robert Hinton, who's headed to Harvard, and then, of course, the aforementioned Trent Perry. Well, they met 2 Fridays ago at Cal Baptist University out in Riverside. More on Roosevelt's home turf, to be honest with you. That was in the CIF Southern Section Open Division title game. Harvard-Westlake won 54-47, but it was a 1-possession game inside of 30 seconds to play tonight. The game, despite the call for a neutral site environment, will be played on Harvard-Westlake's home floor. Jim holds 800 comfortably, but we're getting uncomfortable tonight, if you catch my drift. They didn't sell out all the visiting tickets tonight, though, so good idea to leave things be here. And Harvard-Westlake certainly had earned the home game, and they get it here tonight. Their girls won about an hour and 15 minutes ago in the Division II championship game. So already 1 bus is headed north to Sacramento. They're hoping that there will be another one headed up there, and this Harvard-Westlake team hoping that they can defend their 2023 Open Division championship with one here in 2024 under Dave Rabibo.
On an 11-game winning streak, and of course the stakes extremely high tonight. Roosevelt with revenge on their minds, and nothing would be sweeter for the Mustangs than to silence this crowd.
Yep. Had a crazy ending that we'll show you as we get deeper into this one. Out at Cal Baptist again, that was 2 Fridays ago. Ready to jump at center, Tochi Enibogu in the center circle, along with Dominic Bentho. Ball is tapped back, and it's Trent Perry. And Harvard-Westlake who has it first. At 7:44 tonight, USC head coach Andy Enfield walked into the building. He's sitting right behind us to watch his star recruit. Opening possession for the Wolverines. Here's Perry around the Bentho screen, looking for a shot, changes hands, misfires, and it's rebounded on the offensive end by Bentho. And there's Perry in the corner. Another offensive rebound and another miss. Wow, a lot of burned calories for an empty possession for the #1 team of the state of California.
Yeah, certainly Roosevelt does not want to give the Wolverines extra opportunities on their home floor.
Both teams are 31-3 on the season when they take the floor here in Studio City. And that's going to be a backcourt violation and a turnover for Eastvale Roosevelt. Mustangs came 62 miles to try and get to a state championship game, where they have been on 2 separate occasions. They're state champs under Steven Singleton back in 2017 when Matt Mitchell played for him, and he, of course, then went on to San Diego State University and starred. Perry drawing the defensive assignment, Miles Walker, and there's the first points of the game for Harvard-Westlake. Trent Perry.
Perry's so smooth, the ability to create his own shot. We see him there off the dribble, making things happen.
Here's Braden Burries, the 5-star. Took an official visit last month to the University of Arizona. Matter of fact, Tommy Lloyd took a private plane to see him play earlier this season against Centennial and Carter Bryant. And here's an offensive foul. It's going to be against Harvard-Westlake.
I think the clearing space there a little bit with the elbow was Hinton. Caught the defender in the jaw. I believe that's
going to be the first foul on the Harvard-bound senior. 2-0 lead for Harvard-Westlake. Here's Burries, outstanding 5-star junior, still got another year of high school to go. We've got 4 really good guards. Williamson shuffles it off inside to Enigbogu and count it.
Yeah, excellent attack of the basket. And the timely dish. The rotation is slow. Enigbogu making things happen, absorbing the contact, getting to the free throw line.
Fouls on Trent Perry. That's going to be his first. This is probably the biggest human being I've seen in this building outside of Robert Ory here tonight. This kid is 6'11", a senior. You might remember his brother, E.K. Enigbogu, played a year at UCLA before turning professional.
Yeah, tremendous physical presence and game to back it up.
Nicholas Jimena misses his first shot, and on the offensive rebound attempt by Bentho, there's a foul as Burries rebounded on the defensive end.
Now we saw a little, Coach Singleton is exasperated here early.
It's going to be the first on Enigbogu.
We saw Roosevelt extend their defense, make the Wolverines use some clock.
Perry dumps it down. Bentho put it up, and he's fouled.
See, now this is why it's so difficult for Enigbogu to try to preserve himself. That first foul looked a little suspect, and now here he leaves his feet and picks up 2 early.
Yep, that's on Enigbogu, his second, and here's Dominique Bentho, perhaps one of the most improved big men. With still a long way to go here. He's just a sophomore. He was on this roster last year for Dave Rabibo's state championship team. They were telling me, Dave was telling us that this kid, number here, 30, was 330 pounds as an 8th grader. So they just got him in the gym, and look how slim and in good shape he looks here as a sophomore.
Svelte and sinewy, and a terrific matchup. He going against Enigbogu, who has exited here early with the 2 fouls.
See what kind of wrinkle that puts in this game in the outset. Here's Burries, crossover on Jimena. That's 2 guys that'll be playing at the Division I, high Division I level. Missed shot by Miles Walker, but followed and run down in the corner. Eastvale in the dark unis. They're number 6 in the state of California. They're 14th nationally at 31-3 in the Max Preps national rankings. Got 4 really terrific guards.
See both teams in man-to-man defense here early.
And Isaac Williamson, and a foul is going to be called on the offensive end.
Now it looked like he carried the basketball here, Steve, a little bit. So I think it was a...
Yeah, that's what it was, carryover. If I said foul, I beg your pardon.
Officials on the case, making the right call.
Here's Jimena. He's a big boy. 6'7" junior, 4-star, wears number 4. Hinton to Jimena, and Jimena tried to pass it backdoor for a cutting Hinton and turned it over. Burries in transition, gets it out, and the transition 3 is down by Isaac Williamson.
Burries, a great two-way player in the right spot. Excellent anticipation. Makes the dish for the 3.
Those 2 guys transferred in from Riverside Poly and missed all of last year as a result of that transfer. They did not get eligible in time, so this is their year. Dumped inside, Jimena with a soft touch, missed it, and numbers back the other way. Burries was looking for an assist there, missed shot by Darnez Slater. Here's Perry. Got the Bentho screen, drives in, and a little up and under on Burries for the bucket. Oh, he's something else, isn't he?
Great decision making, excellent court awareness. Reads the defense, drives, finishes, gorgeous.
Trent Perry, the McDonald's All-American. Not the first one they've had here, headed to USC, averages 18 points per game. 6-4 advantage for Roosevelt in the early going. Trying to exact some revenge from 2 weeks ago out at Cal Baptist in the section championship game. Great drive there, coming up short with Slater. Ahead it goes Hinton. Hinton is crushed by Isaac Williamson in the paint. And so a foul coming. And a break in the action here. Feverish pace as we begin this boys CIF Open Division SoCal Regional title game. 2-point advantage for Roosevelt. In a battle of two 31-win teams, Roosevelt at the first media timeout has a 2-point advantage here in this Boys Open Division SoCal Regional Championship game. The Big 8 is the league that Roosevelt plays out of in the Inland Empire, and it's a good one with the likes of Centennial. And they finished in a tie for first place with Centennial, but wind up getting here to the Open Division Regional Championship game. Down year for Josh Giles and his team, even though they had a lot of talent, 21-14.
And you look at, Steve, as you alluded to earlier, both teams with 31 wins. That's a lot of winning.
Yep. And, of course, this Roosevelt team lost to Harvard-Westlake in the CIF Southern Section Open Division Finals 2 weeks ago. It was a one-possession game, under 30 seconds to go. Here's Robert Hinton to the line. He had 15 points versus Roosevelt in that aforementioned section title game. He's a Harvard commit. You might recall last year they had a Princeton commit and Jacob Huggins. They also had St. John's bound Brady Dunlap, and they lose those two guys from an Open Division Championship team and plug in the likes of Bentho and turn Christian Ori from the sixth man into a starter. And here they are again.
Yeah, it's a matter of not rebuilding, but reloading, Steve, right? When you've got that type of talent. And, you know, Hinton, like Perry, we get a good look at Perry wearing number 0. Leaders, they've been such a big part of this program, have learned from their predecessors, carrying on the tradition.
Our favorite Perry story from last year wasn't his favorite, but dislocated his shoulder in this very game as Burries drives, misfires, and rebounded by Harvard-Westlake. He just popped it in, showed up to practice a couple of days later, and was ready for the state championship game where he shined. And inside it goes, and unable to finish right there at the rim was Isaiah Carroll, but then he gets second chance opportunity and a second chance points.
Yeah, great second effort. Carroll cutting across the painted area, unabated. Great resilience and opportunism.
Whistle away from the ball. There's a battle down low going on between Isaiah Carroll and Braden Burries, and that's going to be a foul on Carroll. Mark Taylor, Tony Norwood, Jerry Brown, not the former governor, on this Super Tuesday, working this Open Division Championship game. Grabbed by Williamson. A great spin move on Ori. Throws it off the window and scores it. He had 9 points in the last game against Harvard-Westlake. He's a junior. And they get the ball up and down, don't they?
Yeah, they're going to run on makes, misses. And like you said, Steve, that was a gorgeous move by Zin Bowers in the paint. Spinning and winning early on the road. The hesitation, cogitation. Nice touch.
Here's Hinton to the free throw line. He averages 14 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists a game. As you look at Christian Ori, the son of 7-time NBA champ Robert Ori, and our teammate here on Spectrum. He got out of the studio tonight. Didn't have to be in there to come out and watch his youngsters now a starter.
Christian's done a really nice job, Steve. We've seen him produce in big moments in these playoff tilts.
Here's Braden Burries. Burries step back jumper over Hinton is no good. Rebounded by Trent Perry. Then stolen away. Too hard off the window. Burries with an offensive rebound, and he's fouled on the putback attempt.
Now this will be good for Burries to get to the free throw line, get in the scorebook. He's got great size and versatility, the ability to put it to the floor. And he created this second chance opportunity with the swipe of the basketball.
Again, a kid who has taken one official visit. His first one was to Arizona. 6'5" junior guard, 5-star. Arizona's done well with Kylan Boswell from the Inland Empire. Arizona's Tommy Lloyd took a private jet to see this kid when his team played Centennial, who has Arizona commit Carter Bryant. So another good get for the Wildcats in the Inland Empire. Can't go wrong out there.
Absolutely. We see the Mustangs extending here.
And that pass going to go out of bounds. That's going to be a turnover on Ori.
Yeah, it looked like he thought Jones was going to float to the corner for that three. This is one of those communication issues.
Even at 10, inside of 2 to go, opening quarter. Miles Walker wears number 2. Here's Burries right side, puts it over the double team. They made it a tough 2, but an offensive rebound for the Mustangs. Stop it on a dime, shooting and missing was Walker. Perry ahead, run down by Amir Jones, who's perhaps the next coming of Trent Perry in a couple of years.
Yeah, very high on him. Everyone around the Harvard-Westlake program.
Amenya with a ton of offers. We'll run down them when time allows. Perry just slings that pass inside. Grabbed by Jones, the sophomore. Back out Ori, 3 to shoot. Ori's got to get it off, fires it up, and that's a shot clock violation. Kind of a break for Harvard-Westlake, because instead of being a live ball turnover, if you will, it's dead ball turnover.
Now, if you're the Mustangs, you love that defensive possession. On the road, tie game. You're approaching a minute remaining in the first stanza. But you're absolutely right, Steve, from the standpoint that would have been an opportunity for Roosevelt to get out and attack the rim.
Josh Engelberg in for Trent Perry. So Perry will get an extended break here through the media timeout between the first and second quarter. Here's Burries. He's guarded by Carroll. Slater. 2 big late threes in that game against Harvard-Westlake, and he's going to get fouled in the act of shooting. And he'll get 2 here with just over 42 seconds to go.
And you mentioned it, Steve, with Carroll guarding Burries, it's a big-time matchup. And, you know, Burries, he's got a little bit of DeMar DeRozan in his game. He's so effective in the mid-range. You see them going to him in the post area.
minutes later, 18 points, 6 boards in the one game against Harvard-Westlake. Just the second ever meeting between these two teams. And it's Jackson Hagens, a sophomore, checking in. Isaac Williamson will get a little bit of an extended breather here.
Now, if you're Harvard-Westlake, you got to be prepared for pressure here. And that's got to be embraced as an invitation for a dunk at the other end. It's kind of like 2-2-1. I wouldn't say token pressure, but enough to try to slow the Wolverines down a little bit.
And they get Perry right back into the game, huh? Seeing that press, anticipating that.
Yep, absolutely.
Thought he'd be out a little bit longer. Jones, Amir Jones trying to drive, sealed off, plenty of time to shoot, back into Perry's hands. Picked up by Miles Walker, and takes the shot over Walker, missed in and out, rebounded by Burries. And they're going to play for the last shot. Shot clock is off. Final seconds of this opening quarter. Roosevelt might exit the opening quarter with a 4-point lead. Driving is Burries, little Euro step, and he scores it. And that's how the first quarter ends with, in fact, Roosevelt taking a 4-point advantage. Burries scores just at the end of the quarter. And what a battle we have. Homestanding Harvard-Westlake will be trailing when we come back for the start of the second quarter. 2024 Boys CIF Open Division SoCal Regional Title game.
CIF-Statewide contributing partner. The members of CCPOA and their families united together with the CIF to create a better future for California's student athletes. When we all play, we all win. Gatorade is committed to giving millions their chance to get in the game. Together we can fuel tomorrow. Nike is the official footwear, apparel, and uniform provider of the CIF. Nike is proud to support the student athletes of the CIF. Visit Nike at www.nike.com for more information for all your footwear and apparel needs.
Their 7-time NBA champ in the building. Robert Horry, of course, watching his son. It won't take a seat, right? When the stakes are so high, you just pace back and forth. You won 7 championships. You think you can take a deep breath, right? But watching your kids, it's never that way. And there is Christian Horry, 6'4" senior who's headed to UCLA. That's where he will continue. Playing under Nick Cronin. And the youngster Horry averages 8 points, 2.5 rebounds, a little over an assist a game. Mustangs have it first to start the second quarter.
I understand Associate Head Coach Darren Savino in the building as well of the Bruins tonight.
Here's Braden Burries on the drive. Throws it up and won't get the end one, but he'll go to the line for a couple as he's fouled by Isaiah Carroll.
Now Burries is a conundrum. We saw the gorgeous move to end the first quarter here. He draws the contact. So for Coach Rabibo, how are you going to defend him? We'll have to see if they try to double him, keep the ball out of his hands, of course. That would be ideal if you're the Wolverines. But for the Mustangs, of course, he can devastate the opposition. So much of the offense is going to go through him.
Well, the first time around 2 weeks ago, the Wolverines did a good job holding him in check as far as points are concerned. Braden Burries scored 14 in that championship game. Makes 2 there, extends the lead to 6. Remember, Harvard-Westlake was down big in the regional semifinals to Carlsbad out of the San Diego section. They had to have an amazing second half, and that's going to be a backcourt violation. So the pressure gets to Harvard-Westlake, and the sophomore Amir Jones turns it over.
Yeah, so now we've seen the Mustangs defense come through. They forced the shot clock violation, now a half-court violation. So if you're Coach Singleton, you're feeling really good about your defensive effort early here on the road.
Looks like we finally got to capacity here. And you and I were in this building last couple of years ago when we had that big games here at Canyon in the regionals. And Fred Perry was just a sophomore. There's a drive by Miles Walker, got off a wild shot on the offensive glass. Dominic Copenhagen, 6'3" junior. It's an 8-point game, and everything that Roosevelt is doing right now has come up big time.
Yeah, so the Mustangs are beating the Wolverines to the basketball, to the offensive glass. They're defending with great vitality, with great gusto, and it's an excellent timeout by Coach Rabibo to settle his team. Now, it's at least a 6-0 run since Burries scored to end the first quarter.
This is a big school from out in the Inland Empire. East Vale is just a little north of Norco and Corona, but south of Rancho Cucamonga off the 15 there. 4,580 kids is the enrollment. When they won that championship in 2017, the regional title, this is their third regional title game, by the way. They had Matt Mitchell, Jamal Baker, who would be at Kentucky, Fresno State. He might have even done some time at Arizona.
Big triumvirate, big time talent.
Perry, and there's going to be a reach-in foul on Isaac Williamson, a junior. He's like, what did I do?
Yeah, Williamson's feeling like no good deed goes unpunished. But he just kind of got out of that defensive stance, and that makes it a little bit easier for the officials to make that call.
Good point. Harvard-Westlake has not scored in the second quarter. In need of a bucket, down 8. Cross-court pass. Everybody wants to travel on Amir Jones. They're not going to get it. Here's Hinton, who's Harvard-bound. And the step-back jumper is no good, and the drought continues for the Wolverines. David Rabibo will not panic, especially after what he saw down in a big hole against Carlsbad the other day.
That's exactly right, Steve. UB Brown says it all the time. An NBA game is never over. Same can be said here for CIF playoff action.
Burries against Perry. How about this? And Burries pulls up over Perry and buries the 3. That's a future McDonald's All-American over a current McDonald's All-American.
Yeah.
Enjoy that. Clip that one off, folks. It's an 11-point advantage, and there's another foul. A reach in here on Slater on Perry as he was trying to get it in the front court.
Yeah. You're absolutely right, Steve. Excellent offense, beating terrific defense. And, you know, Burries is the type player that he can just sense if he's got enough room, he's just going to pull up here. If Perry attempts to close on him, he'll drive by him. So just great instincts, great discipline.
Dave Rabibo was talking about that Carlsbad team, and he was like, we just couldn't figure out what they were doing. They were just coming down, no real set offense. That's a badly needed bucket there. Robert Hinton delivers big time for the Wolverines, ends the drought.
Now,
9-point game.
Now can you get stops?
Yep.
And can you contain Burries here?
Here's Burries. And got it in to Slater, who is fouled. And more shots are coming here for Roosevelt. That foul is going to be on Bentho.
Yeah, it's a tough scenario. You know, you have to love the defensive presence of mind and the rotation by Bentho. But it did look like he got there a second late and did pick up the block.
For this Roosevelt team, they beat state runners-up St. Joseph's of Santa Maria on Saturday to get here. That was that St. Joseph's team with Tunde Yesufu that was in the championship game opposite Harvard-Westlake last year at the state level. Bentho. Hinton. Good defense on Perry, man. They got him marked, whether it's Walker or Slater or Williamson. Pull up on the baseline is long. Offensive rebound and second chance points there for Robert Hinton. 9-point game coming up on 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, these are two very talented deep squads, Steve. As you said, they're just going to run defensive guys at you.
Here's a name we haven't called yet is Nicholas Hamenya, who draws the defensive assignment now on Burries. 9 to shoot. Here's a drive by Copenhagen, and he changes hands, scores off the window. Wow, it's your day if you're getting something out of Copenhagen, huh?
Terrific move to push to a double-digit lead.
Here's Hamenya right on cue, missed it. And Bentho was trying to go for the offensive rebound, and they're going to say that the Roosevelt touched it last. So Harvard-Westlake keeps possession here, down 11 for the second time in this first half.
See a little bit of hesitation defensively, and Copenhagen knows what to do. He goes right to the rack, can feel it, can sense it, unabated with the scoop off the window. Mustangs by 11.
I said they got a great quartet of guards, but it might be 5 really good guards here. Copenhagen. And we got a timeout on the floor. Harvard-Westlake profile now. 31-3 under their longtime head coach, David Rabibo, who's got, by my count, 334 wins and an enrollment of just under 1,600 against a public school from the Inland Empire who's got an enrollment of over 4,500. And they're out of the Mission League, which produced not 1, not 2, but 3 CIF section champions this season, if you can believe that. With Sierra Canyon and Notre Dame and Harvard-Westlake. The girls' game prior was the 3rd meeting of the season in Division II between Notre Dame and Harvard-Westlake, and the Harvard-Westlake women pulled away, and they're headed for a Saturday 2 p.m. game in Sacramento. And David Rabibo would love to join them. Just get 1 plane, 2 buses, whatever you need.
A caravan.
Same hotel,
there
caravan, yep. Put it all on the Underhill account. Into Hamenya. They got to get him going in the low post. Over the double team, and he misses again. He hasn't made a field goal yet. A steal now potentially. And it's going to be Roosevelt basketball. Last touch by Hinton, much to the dismay of the 800 plus in the gym. And they're going to change it. Let's see.
Yeah, that is a great job of officiating, because the basketball does go off of Burries here as he's on the floor trying to make a play. And you just like to see that with the officials getting the call right.
Yeah, so the officials overturn it. And we got a whistle and a timeout. 2 of the 3 officials will talk with one another. Lead is 11 here for the Mustangs. On the road, trying to avenge a 7-point defeat at the hands of Harvard-Westlake 2 Fridays ago on February the 23rd. Here's Hinton, Bentho. Handoff Hamenya. Hinton. Crossover, puts it up and hits the deep 2.
Hinton starting to percolate here a little bit for the Wolverines, which they desperately need.
And he averages 14 a game. 9-point lead for Eastvale Roosevelt. Ranked 4th in California, 14th nationally. That's in and out of the hands of Slater. And on a 50-50 ball, see what the call is going to be, a jump ball, and it will be Harvard-Westlake basketball. And that tie-up brings us to a break now. 3:22 to go before half. Roosevelt on the road with a 9-point advantage over Harvard-Westlake. Braden Burries has been as good as advertised, the 5-star guard from the Inland Empire. Robert Hinton with an answer. The lead is 9 for the Mustangs.
SB Live Sports is an official digital content provider of the CIF and destination for schedules, scores, news, and more. Download the SB Live Sports app today to start following your favorite teams and players. Billy Tees is the official championship merchandise supplier of the CIF. Visit online at BillyTees.com to purchase a wide variety of championship t-shirts, hats, sweatshirts, patches, and more. Max Press is an official digital content provider of CIF and the CIF sections. Max Press is also an official photographer for the CIF.
Standing room only here inside the Harvard-Westlake gym. Although we might have one open spot here coming up shortly. Got a fan behind us yapping, and lots of folks coming over and saying, calm down, man. 3:22 to go in the second quarter play. 25-16. Harvard-Westlake in a little bit of trouble. What do you think?
It's all relative, Steve.
Yeah.
If they don't make the necessary adjustments, yes, but there's so much in front of us. Now, you think about it, they trailed at the end of the first quarter 14-10. They've been outscored 11-6 in the second quarter. So you have to be really impressed with the Mustangs defense. We saw them pregame working on their rotations, on a string, the extension. So how does the Wolverines, how do they respond now, trailing by 9?
We're talking about defense. The Harvard-Westlake defense in the postseason has held opponents to 27% shooting. Not tonight, though. Perry missed it. Offensive rebound, Ori.
And what Harvard-Westlake has to do here is not let your defensive woes, your offensive woes affect your defense. So just trust the process.
Oh, great pass. Perry inside. Amenya, 4-star junior forward with his first points of the first half.
And Steve, that is probably the easiest bucket that Harvard-Westlake has gotten, and it took them about 13 minutes to get it. So credit to Mustangs for that, but good response by Harvard-Westlake.
Perry averages 6 helpers per game. On the other end, this is Walker. Walker trying to lean into a shot, and he'll get it. An and one, Miles Walker. He's been working real hard and gets rewarded right there.
Yeah, so he's in a one-on-one situation here with Ori just making something happen.
I think that was bad defense by Ori.
Yeah, it's good defense.
Little bump.
And you know, Walker has brought great energy. Hagen's just exited the game. He's brought great energy here for Roosevelt.
Back to a 10-point game. Roosevelt has won state championship. They won it in 2017. Matt Mitchell, Jamal Baker on Steve Singleton's roster. That Open Division championship last year for Harvard-Westlake wasn't their first championship at the state level, but it was their first Open Division championship. Hinton in the lane. That's a pure jumper right there for the Harvard-bound senior.
He's going to wreak some havoc in the Ivy League. You go to Columbia Friday night, Princeton on Saturday.
Yep. I heard Princeton really wanted him too. They got Huggins last year, but they couldn't get Hinton. Here's Burries, almost had his pocket picked, and they're eventually going to pick the pocket. Dribbling through traffic is Hinton, and he throws it down. Oh, Robert Hinton. 6-point game. Oh, what a great pass. Are you kidding me? Williamson underneath. No look to Copenhagen. That's the assist of the year in the section. Perry, are they going to count that? Let's see. And they're going to count it. Well, that's an NBA continuation play on the high school level if I've ever seen one. And it's interesting, Steve Singleton, he's hot here. You watch the foul, and then you got a little bit of an argument. He kind of felt that in that section championship game, his team really didn't get a chance to compete. Harvard-Westlake got to the free throw line 31 times to Roosevelt's 16. And again, we talked about it being kind of on the turf of Roosevelt out at Cal Baptist, certainly closer to the Roosevelt campus than here.
And earlier in that possession, Steve, right in front of the Mustangs bench, they thought that Perry cleared space with his offhand, and there was no call on that. And then there's a foul on them on a field goal attempt, a successful one by Perry. So both of these teams quite physical, getting after it, getting after each other.
They were just there. Amir Jones and Braden Burries were going at it, and the foul will be called on the sophomore Amir Jones, who next couple of years going to have a huge role here, especially because they don't have transfers out here. You don't take transfers in the middle of high school. And nobody leaves. 5-point lead, 1:01 to go before halftime. Here's Burries. Going to work on Jones. Skies up for the three-pointer right in front of the Harvard-Westlake bench.
Yeah, that's a big-time move. That's DeMar DeRozan, the ability to create space, create your own shots. Gorgeous.
Hamenya, little shot fake. Hamenya's got offers from Gonzaga, UCLA, USC. Kicked in the corner and blocked. Ori had his shot blocked. Coming out of there to block it was Williamson. Got it back and lost the handle on it. Here's the steal. Williamson ahead, and Williamson's fouled. Isaiah Carroll with the contact.
See, we are seeing rowling, vexing defense by the Mustangs. Defense creating offense. And it's a really good effort defensively by Carroll, who tried to go straight up and down, but alas, we will have Williamson at the free throw line looking to extend this lead to double digits with just under 21 seconds remaining in the second stanza.
Roosevelt's been up by as many as 11. With a 4-point lead after 1 quarter of play, and they'll get Tochi Enigbogu off. He has not been in. Big number 22 hasn't been in as teams have gone more guard-orientated and smaller here for.
And he picked up those 2 quick fouls as well, Steve, that relegated him to the bench. And now, you know, for the Mustangs, defend here without fouling, secure the defensive rebound. If you don't turn over Harvard-Westlake, and it's like that lyric, now that we found love, what are we going to do with it, right? You're up 10 on the road. You're trying to extend and get to Sacramento.
Yeah, good point about the 2 fouls early, and when you're up by as many as you are, right, you're up double digits, you can let him sit there on the bench, have a fresh body in the second half of play. Not even have to think about putting in the 6'11 senior. Hamenya spins, nothing there. Catch and shoot 3, Amir Jones missed it, and that's how we end the first half of play. A 10-point road lead for 2-seeded Roosevelt. Told you both these teams came in having won 31 games. It is 1 versus 2 seeded in the Open Division. It's 1 versus 4 in the state of California. It is 6 versus 14 nationally, and it's been as good as advertised. 10-point lead for the Mustangs on the road. We'll be back with all the halftime fun right after this.
We'd ask that all fans please exit the court at this time.
Jake, yeah.
We're going to have an issue. Oh, he's doing the camera too. That.
Just got to put that strip over, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, Jake,
Yep.
is there a second bathroom around? Like,
So there's one right there,
Yeah.
and then if you go downstairs, there's also one, but it's like the boys' locker room bathroom
Okay.
area, so it might be closed off right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I may follow you, Steve. We got a minute after. Figure it out.
Just right down there in the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's probably going to be too long of a line.
Yeah, it could be.
I'd say downstairs it just might be like blocked off right now.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries.
Where would you go? Like,
If you go down the stairs,
Yeah.
you'll see, if you just go down the hall and make a left, you'll see there's a bathroom.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I just don't know if
Is there
Guaranteed to help take your game day experience to the next level. Learn more about game time at NeptuneNow.com. Sutter Health, exceptional care through unexpected visits. Learn more at sutterhealth.org/kids. When pain keeps you from doing what you love, let the experts at Home Orthopedic Institute Sports Medicine get you back to you. Going to serve to the green, our world-class doctors are there. Which is why more California choose us for orthopedic and spine.
anything we didn't address from last time?
down to talk about whatever.
An advantage here for Harvard. Check it, 10-point advantage for Roosevelt here at 35-25. Let's welcome in the award-winning play-by-play voice of Harvard-Westlake on their streams here, Jake Lancer. Thanks for joining us here 2 games in a row. Tell us a little bit about this Harvard-Westlake setup, if you don't mind.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's been a lot of fun tonight with, our Super Tuesday
Yeah,
matchup.
exactly.
2 games, but we do all sports over at Ted Slavin Field and Cobb's Family Pool, football, lacrosse, water polo, basketball over here, volleyball. It's a lot of fun. I've been doing play-by-play since 10th grade. I've been the lead announcer since 11th grade, and it's been a blast.
Very cool.
And Jake, is there a favorite sport that you have that you've gravitated towards? I know you love them all, but is there one that's risen above the others?
Well, when I started, I thought it would be football, like lifelong football fan, but doing basketball, especially with, such a great team. We have boys and girls. It's just such a blast, and I've really gotten drawn to it.
Where can people find it? I know my son said he was listening tonight. He's a pilot in the Navy on Armed Forces Radio. Where can everyone find the stream?
Yes, if you go to HW Athletics social medias, you can find links there, but the link itself is livestream.com/HWTV.
Very cool.
And Jake, do you have any time to study? Or you're one of those guys, you just go in and nail it 4-0, because I know you're busy. You got so many extracurriculars going with your broadcasting with all the sports.
Yeah, I wouldn't say a 4-0, but I definitely spend my time in the library to make sure that I'm well prepped. I do a lot of research for these basketball games. If you tune in, you'll see we have a lot of stats, a lot of info on guys from our team and the other teams also.
Jake, thanks for your time, man.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much
it.
for
Best of
having
luck
me.
to you, all right?
Yeah.
I should be retired by the time he's ready to take my job, so best of luck to him. All right, 10-point advantage here at the half for Roosevelt. We're at the boys Open Division SoCal Regional Championship game. Back with more after this. Back in Studio City inside the gym here, Harvard-Westlake's going to be in chasing mode in the second half, much like they were in the semifinals against Carlsbad on Saturday night. 10-point advantage. We're getting ready to go to state. Somebody's going to join us here from this game. Here's what's happening Friday, March the 8th. We'll start at 10 a.m. at the Golden One Center with a girls Division 5 game. That's on Sportsnet, followed by the boys. Then the Harvard-Westlake girls, well, they'll play on Saturday. Girls Division 3 will be at 2 o'clock. And then my partner and I, Bill, will be back for the 4, 6, and 8 o'clock games. 2 of those on Sportsnet Overflow. And then Spectrum News 1 with the boys championship game at 8 o'clock on Friday. Flip it over to Saturday. 2 p.m. is when the Harvard-Westlake girls will play. And then we'll start at 10 in the morning with the girls Division 4. And then if Harvard-Westlake wins this one or Roosevelt wins, they'll be in the 8 p.m. Boys Open Division Championship game. And all those games on Saturday, all 6 will be on Spectrum Sportsnet. Here, 10-point advantage for Roosevelt over Harvard-Westlake. This is the 2024 Boys CIF Open Division SoCal Regional Championship game. Back out on the court come Harvard-Westlake, the favorites in this, the 1 seed in the Open, trailing the 2 seed by 10 points. There's Brandon Burry's terrific first half with 12 points to lead the way. Take us through these first half highlights, if you will.
Yeah, well, you see Perry's headed to USC, and then a great response. Williamson with the electricity in the painted area. Hinton was great with 14. He averages 14 a night. And again, you know what we're seeing here, as you see Walker operating in the paint, is Burry's has been great, but it's been a systemic effort. And there's Amenya, the easiest basket of the night for the Wolverines. And Hinton in transition. Wolverines could use more of this to cut this 10-point deficit. Defense leading the offense with the finish. And of course, an 11-game winning streak and a trip to Sacramento at stake for the Wolverines. And the Mustangs want to grab it and get up there.
Yep, solid 21-point second quarter for Roosevelt. They're on the road. They're 62 miles from home, trying to avenge a loss from 2 weeks ago in the section championship game. They lead by 10. Back to start the third quarter after this.
Summit, let's get committed. As soon as we come out of our media break, we will reset the lineups for both teams. It's going to be starters for the Mustangs as we start the third quarter. Braden Curry, Garnet Slater, Miles Walker, Isaac Williamson. And making the third quarter start after a hot first half, Dominic Copenhagen. For the Wolverines, Dominic Menko, Nicholas Amenia, Chris Norrie, Robert Hinton, and Trent Perry.
Well, for the second straight game in the regionals, Harvard-Westlake has some work to do in the second half. They were trailing Carlsbad in the regional semifinal. They rallied from down big at the half to beat Carlsbad to get here for the second straight year. And here we go. The lead as many as 11. It is 10 now for Roosevelt, trying to exact some revenge from that Open Division Section Championship game. Burries misses his first shot. He had 12 points in the first half to lead the Mustangs, buried a couple of threes. It's a kid who's taken an official visit to Arizona.
That was a fortunate miss because Burries is a guy you don't want to leave alone. He had an open look for a three.
And a block there on Perry by Miles Walker. Transition 2-on-1, and Slater leaves it for a streaking Williamson. The lead is 12 for the Mustangs.
Slater did an excellent job of avoiding contact and not picking up the charge on that transition opportunity for the Mustangs.
9 on Williamson. Here's Hamenya, quiet in that first half with only 2 points. Or he missed the second chance opportunity.
What an excellent dish by Bentho. Presence of mind to find a cutting Horry.
12-point lead, Harvard-Westlake will retain possession here. 57 seconds has gone by here in this second half rather. And that one's going to go off the back of Slater. On the first half, the Mustangs were quicker to the ball, made more shots. They were the better team. I think anybody in the building would admit that. Can they sustain it over the final 16? Perry, who had 7 first-half points, McDonald's All-American, missed that shot. And a timeout, Dave Rabibo, to keep possession of that ball as Horry was trapped in the corner.
Now listen, if you asked any of the Roosevelt players about the guy they're guarding, and you asked them what cologne they were wearing, they'd be able to answer you, okay? So this has been a very intense defensive effort, and it's like the old adage, offense sells tickets, defense wins championships. So, and you make a good point, Steve. If you're Roosevelt, obviously you want to prove that this game is not too long for you so that you can sustain this. And for the Wolverines, of course, it's time to regroup here on your home floor. Try to get some easy looks. You know, we saw that layup by Hamenya. That was kind of like the easiest basket of the night. They've really had to work for everything after that.
Gonna need a big second half out of the McDonald's All-American Trent Perry, who scored 25 in the regional final last year at Centennial and then popped his shoulder out at the very end of the game. Popped it back in time for the championship game. That happens. Bentho missed. Hamenya was trying to come in to get the offensive rebound, but it's going to be off of him. It'll be Mustangs ball.
Great take by Bentho. Did everything but finish. And then Hamenya, you know, arguably that could have been an over-the-back foul, but
This time next year, Bentho will be finishing those, by the way.
He'll be dunking that.
Yes, he will.
By this time next year, Steve, when we're here. Absolutely.
It's a process. They got to grow up. Like, you know, certainly Jacob Huggins, who's now at Princeton, wasn't terribly refined early in his career. It takes time. Little shovel off right there, and they almost connected again. Williamson to Copenhagen like they did in the first half.
Yeah, Copenhagen was big, and he scored all 6 of his points in that second stanza.
That's going to be a foul. You know, a really big second quarter as well was Robert Hinton. 10 of his 14 for Harvard-Westlake were in that second quarter. He scored 10 of their 15.
Good example of the physical play here in Studio City. And you called that, Steve. You mentioned that Hinton would need to step up for the Wolverines, and he did, particularly in that second quarter.
Williamson has 3 fouls for Roosevelt. Hamenya, they've been all over him defensively. Hinton to Hamenya, skies up for 3, was calling for it, and he makes it in the corner in front of his bench. He averages 16 a game. He had 15 points against Roosevelt in the section title game. They held him to 2 over the first 16 minutes. And he's got a rebound here. He'll get 7 of those a game. Hamenya says, I'm going to take over. Forget about Perry. And he finds Bentho, shakes his defender, and scores on the reverse. Timeout, Roosevelt. It's a 7-point game with 5:29 to go in the third. Here they come, much like they did back on Saturday night against Carlsbad.
So a great response by Harvard-Westlake. All of a sudden, you're getting stops, and you're getting high percentage shots on the other end of the floor. And listen, for Coach Singleton, that's a great timeout. You're on the road, you've had a cushion. Now you can feel the momentum swinging in the opposition's building. Great timeout.
Well, the Mission League had 3 teams that won a section championship. The only one left standing, though, this early in March, this late in the high school season, is this Harvard-Westlake team.
Now look at this league, Steve.
Yeah.
You coach in this league, you sleep like a baby. You wake up every couple hours crying because you see who's ahead of your schedule.
Yeah, and you look at Harvard-Westlake, and 2 of their defeats came in conference play. And they only had 3 losses all season. One of them was early in the season to Columbus out of Miami, Florida. And if you've checked the rankings in Max Preps, Columbus is the #1 team in the country. And then you would have had back-to-back losses for David Rabibo's team on the 17th and 19th of January to Sherman Oaks, Notre Dame on this floor, and then over at Sierra Canyon. They have not lost since. That would have been the 19th of January. Won a section championship, obviously, looking for a regional championship, looking for back-to-back state championships at the open division level. Which is not an easy thing to do if you're not named Mater Dei, right?
Right, this would be a 12th consecutive victory, and you said it, Steve, at the top. Both teams have 31 wins on the season.
Back in after 2 quick fouls in the first half was Enig Bogu. And the officials are going to say it's staying with the Mustangs. There you see, there's no foul underneath. They were just trying to figure out who had the ball.
That's great camera work as well on the baseline, because our camera guy got rolled over there.
And the only 2 teams to go back-to-back in the open division would be Mater Dei, as we mentioned, and then Sierra Canyon in 18 and 19. Harvard-Westlake with a chance, but they're down 7. They're chasing. 5 minutes to go exactly in the third. Little shot fake. Walker goes into traffic. Enig Bogu, and he friendly fire right there. Taken out by his own teammate, and it's a travel.
So you can feel the intensity in the building. The stakes so high. And also the defensive intensity by the Wolverines has increased to match that of the Mustangs, which they started with right from the get-go.
Roosevelt only has 2 points here to start the second half. Hamenya leans into one. He's starting to get going. Nicholas Hamenya offers from Gonzaga, UCLA, USC, Illinois, Clemson, Indiana, Oklahoma, to name a few.
That is a long,
That's a good list.
Yes.
Can't go wrong with any one of those. And he's got the size, you can tell. Williamson, and he's fouled by Perry. That's going to be the second on Trent Perry.
Personal foul called on Trent Perry.
You know, Gordy Chiesa, the longtime assistant to the late Jerry Sloan with the Jazz, talks about scoring through physicality in the playoffs. You can see here, Perry just got out of his defensive stance.
Non-shooting foul. They changed the rule this year. When you get to 5 fouls per quarter, then it's 2 shots. But both teams have 1 team foul apiece. We're almost halfway through this third quarter. And Roosevelt has changed sides and has only scored 2 points in this bucket. They're now trying to attack. And they let some physicality go there. Walker for a deep 2. Missed it, rebounded by Bentho.
Bentho's been terrific here in the third quarter, Steve. You continue to call his name with good reason.
Here's Perry, drives on Enig Bogu, got a piece of the ball and a piece of the body for a foul, and that's going to be the third on the big fella who did not play much, right? He got too quick in the opening quarter and had to spend much of that first half on the bench. Break in the action, 3:41 to go. Third quarter, boys CIF Open Division SoCal Regional Championship game. It's now a 5-point lead for Roosevelt.
Wilson, the official basketball of the CIF-State State Championships. The athletes to perform their best, they require the best. For over 100 years, that's what Wilson has delivered. Wilson is not only the best-selling high school basketball on the market, but it's also the official
What was an 11-point lead for Roosevelt in the first half has been whittled down now to 5. If you look at this foul a moment ago, the third on Tochi Enubogu.
Coach Singleton.
And remember, he's not happy about the way he thought his team was not allowed to compete in that section championship game. Again, we'll remind you, Harvard-Westlake went to the free throw line 31 times on that Friday at Cal Baptist, while Coach Singleton's team only went 16 times.
And again, that looks like a clean block and perhaps not that much body contact by Enig-Bogu. So Coach Singleton pleading his case.
See, 9 seasons. He won a state championship in 2017 with Jamal Baker, Matt Mitchell, who had originally committed to play at Cal State Fullerton, and then I remember doing the game with Casey Jacobson, and we're looking and we're like, wow, I mean, I love Cal State Fullerton. I was a season ticket holder as a kid, but that kid is really talented. So Steve Fisher, Brian Dutcher got him to go down to San Diego State. Part of a lot of big wins down there at Viejas Arena.
One of the great buildings in all of college basketball.
I went to the New Mexico game the other day. That environment was much like McHale Center when I was a student at Arizona in the late 80s, early 90s. Maybe even better with all the pyrotechnics. 9 points now for the McDonald's All-American Trent Perry. All of a sudden, it's a 3-point game, a 1-possession game. You're talking a 9-2 start to this third quarter for Harvard-Westlake to erase a 10-point halftime deficit. Not fully yet. Good extra pass made there, and Burries with a right hand.
Yeah, multiple touches, excellent job. The rotation just can't keep up, and Burries cashes in.
That's his first points of the second half. He had 12 of his 14 in the first half, and Homenya on the other end of the low post. Well, he's something good else, isn't he?
He really is. He's got the range. We saw him make a three. He can score in the paint.
Oh, man, Burries straight away, and he cans the three. Remember, he got hot for a stretch, right, in that second quarter with a couple of back-to-back threes. Very streaky guy. Back up to a 6-point advantage. Directing traffic is Perry. Had a 42-point game on Saturday for the come-from-behind victory against Carlsbad. Homenya catch and shoot three, no. Bentho tried to keep it alive on the offensive glass.
Both teams operating with offense in front of their respective benches. Nice poise here by the Mustangs.
Burries quickly picked up by Hinton, a couple of future Division I guys. Here's a drive by Slater. Kick out corner, baseline drive here. Euro stepping through it to find the bucket is Copenhagen. That's his first points of the second half. Remember, he had those 6 in the second quarter alone.
He has been terrific, a real spark plug, providing great production for the Mustangs.
Homenya the air ball, but Perry is there to grab it. Perry, the jumper in the lane, is good, and he's got 11. They held him to 13 in the open title game. McDonald's All-American, and Williamson came up short. Looked like he might have get stepped on as well. He's the first McDonald's All-American here since the Collins twins in '97. Hinton, his defender, fell down, but Burries gets there. Hinton over Burries, and rebounded by Homenya. And on the offensive glass and the putback, he got fouled. Well, it's getting physical now, partner.
Yeah, it really, really is. Good look by Hinton. And then Homenya, you must, Tom Izzo-like, hit, find, and go get the basketball to protect your defensive glass.
That foul's on Bentho. David Rabibo not the least bit happy.
This will be an interesting juncture here too, Steve. Roosevelt with the basketball, 1:16 on the clock before the end of the third quarter with a 6-point lead. Offensive guys are starting to get going here a little bit.
We're getting set as Walker drives in and kicks out to Williamson. We're getting set for a great fourth quarter. Williamson drives over Perry. Tough shot, rebounded by Homenya. They got numbers back the other way. A 5-on-2, and in the passing lane, Walker with a steal. Ahead in the easy lay-in by Williamson.
That is a big-time play by Walker under duress.
Wow.
Defensively, Steve, as you mentioned, it was like 5-on-2. The furtive Walker finding his teammate Williamson for the easy lay-in to push the extension to 8 by Roosevelt on the road.
What a defensive stand. I'm trying to go back in the annals of history for a metaphor. Wow. Let's take a look at the playoff run for this Roosevelt Mustangs team, the number 2 seed, 31 victories. Lost to Harvard-Westlake in the Open Division Championship. They had a first-round regional bye, and then in the semifinals beat that St. Joseph team with Tunde Yesufu, who's a terrific player. Beat them by 17 on their floor, so long journey for St. Joseph out of Santa Maria. And then here they are, 31-3, and Steven Singleton looking for his second ever state championship. It's their third regional title game. They've won one, they lost one. When they were here in 2020, they lost in the Division II regional finals to St. Francis out of La Cañada. Closing seconds of this third quarter. 8-point advantage. Skying up for the three is Perry, and he nails it.
Big time shot by Perry, utilizing the screen, elevating.
14 for Perry. Lead is 5. Big third quarter for Harvard-Westlake. Not much offense for the Mustangs. They got it in the hands of Burries. He's hit a big three. A little crossover on Homenya, and the lay in reverse is short. Only seconds to go. Homenya, it'll count if it goes, and it doesn't. And what a third quarter for Harvard-Westlake. Didn't quite erase a 10-point halftime deficit, but a manageable 5-point deficit headed to the fourth and final quarter of regulation. In this 2024 Boys CIF Open Division SoCal Regional title game, winner getting either Salesian or Archbishop Reardon next Saturday in Sacramento.
We're about to come out of our commercial break.
Roosevelt by 5 to start the fourth quarter. Let's revisit what happened 2 Fridays ago in the CIF Southern Section Open Division Section Final. Harvard-Westlake up 6, under a minute to go, and Darnez Slater cuts the lead to 3. On the other end, Trent Perry misses both free throws, but Roosevelt on the second one called for a foul on a jersey grab, so Robert Hinton gets a chance to go to the free throw line and sink 2 free throws to win it. You see there, most people thought it was on the arm, but it was actually a jersey grab there of Hinton. And the final was 54-47, and Hinton's going to inbound right in front of us. You could have heard our entire conversation. There's the young man. But he's got ice water in his veins. He didn't even turn around.
Complete focus on the next play. It's all about the next play.
And a 5-point advantage, and Perry over the top. Homenya, that's a great drawn-up play coming out of the timeout.
Absolutely, Steve. It really was. Excellent execution. Now, again, a one-possession game.
Much better third quarter for Harvard-Westlake. One-possession game, as my partner mentioned. Kick to the corner. Pressure, I think, is on the Mustangs now. Here's a 3 right side, missed by Copenhagen. Chance this time down the floor with a 3 to tie. And Perry, and foul's going to be called on the floor before he took the shot.
Now, UB Brown calls it the test of coaching. Can you get your best players high percentage shots in their best areas? So, of course, you're going to see Perry, Homenya, and Hinton for Harvard-Westlake. But don't forget the wild card scorers, Horry, as well as Bentho.
Hinton, and as he put it up, there's a foul on the rebound. That's Burries, who hit the floor hard, the 5-star junior. He's slow to get up. He wants to stretch out just a little bit.
Yeah, thankfully he looks okay. And, you know, that's what's going to happen with the Mustangs, right? It's going to be Burries with the basketball. But again, so many wild card scorers, Steve. Walker, Williamson, Enigbogu, Copenhagen has been terrific tonight. So I wouldn't be surprised, however, if Coach Singleton, he's going to be prepared for Coach Rabibo to maybe double Burries, try to get the ball out of his hands. Let's see how they handle pick and roll situations. I don't think they're going to let him roam in a one-on-one situation here in the fourth quarter. We'll see.
1 minute has gone by in this fourth quarter. Roosevelt has not scored yet. It took him a little while in the third quarter to finally get off the schneid, if you will. In the hands of Burries against Hamenya, drives in, double team comes. They made it difficult with all that length. Here's Perry on the run out. Kick corner, and the sophomore takes the shot, missed it, but it's rebounded by Hamenya. That was Amir Jones, the sophomore, missing. Perry inside, and Jones gets a chance to redeem himself.
Hamenya has been attacking the offensive glass, making it happen for Jones to cash in.
1 point game. Dave Rabibo's ready to sub himself in. He's still fired up. Here's Williamson against Hinton. Slater, who had the 2 big late threes. One that we showed you a moment ago in that Open Division Championship games. Go to work now and can't get that one to go as he drove in on Carroll. Chance to take the lead. Perry is stripped, and it's staying with Harvard-Westlake.
That's a winning play by Williamson because Perry looked like he was going to flush that and the roof was going to come off this joint. But look at Williamson, the furtive nature of the 6-foot junior. Big-time defensive play.
Harvard-Westlake looking for their second half comeback in these regionals, and they've got the lead. 16 for Perry. Harvard-Westlake was down 4 after the first quarter. By my count, this is their first lead of the game. Here's Williamson behind the back dribble, and a foul will be called. And a head went into a mouth. The back of the head by Williamson into the mouth of Amir Jones, and they're looking to see if Amir Jones has all his chiclets. Watch this. And, oh, man. The nose absorbed a lot of that contact, too.
Yeah, Jones, thankfully, both players look to be okay. You mentioned it earlier, Steve. This has been a very physical game from the get-go.
They might have to blow this down. No, I thought they were going to check to see whether Jones was bleeding. Here's Burries. Burries with the left hand, missed it. I think he's forced that a little too much. Outlet out to Hinton. Hinton through 2 defenders. And a blocking foul will be called. Oh, man, that was Superman taking it in.
Hinton with the great extension.
This is on Williamson. It's going to be his 4th. He looks set to me.
Listen, if Williamson had established that as an address, he'd have a pile of mail and he'd have the Amazon packages piled up. But listen, for the Mustangs, what you've got to do is play through it. It's about the next play. There's nothing you can do about it. And again, right here, it's about securing the defensive rebound if these free throws are missed, particularly the second one, of course, and getting high percentage shots at the other end.
Harvard-Westlake is back from down 11, trying to complete a second big comeback in the second half. First one against Carlsbad was a miracle. They're looking for the miracle squared here on Tuesday night for a return trip to Sacramento.
They have so many players that have been through so much, Steve, right? The Perrys, the Hintons, the Hamenyas, the Oris. They've been there. So from that standpoint, no surprise that they've resurrected here. But can they finish? And can the Mustangs somehow find it as well?
3-point advantage, largest of the game for Harvard-Westlake. 5:23 to go. Jackson Hagens for the second time. We saw the sophomore check in the first half, and the Mustangs need some momentum here. Harvard-Westlake in their 9th regional title game. They've won 5 of the previous 8. Trying to repeat as Open Division state champions and join Mater Dei and Sierra Canyon as the only schools to say they won back-to-back in the Open Division since it was created not too long ago. Off the bench, are you kidding me? Jackson Hagan, just when you need it.
The sophomore delivering without hesitation, without cogitation, draining the 3.
49-49, I might get him to do my taxes. Not a single flinch. Here's Burries, 5-star guard against the 4-star Jimena. Think of all the stars out there right now.
Matchups galore, Steve, all over the floor.
Miles Walker handles. Perry picks him up. 16 to shoot. Burries being guarded by Jimena, and dribbling through traffic and kicking out there was Walker, and they're going to turn it over. Ahead it goes Hinton, a 2-on-1 to Perry. Perry with the left hand over Burries, and he's fouled! How about all of that talent? That's a McDonald's All-American headed to USC against a 5-star that took a visit last month to Arizona. Oh, wow. 18 for Perry. Just put it in the hand and at the angle where Burries could do one thing and one thing only, and that's fouling him.
Yeah, great job. Excellent dish by Hinton to set it up, 2-on-1 style, and Perry absorbing the contact. Great concentration, Steve, on the finish. And he completes the 3-point play. Big time play.
19 for Perry. More heroics. He had 42 on Saturday in the come-from-behind win against Carlsbad. They won by a point. They needed each and every one of those 42 points. No negotiation there. Inside of 4 to go.
Major production.
Here's Walker, and Walker is fouled. It doesn't go down, and he'll have 2 shots coming out of the break. Well, just inside of 4 minutes to go, Harvard-Westlake has taken over with a big second half, and they lead it by 3, 52-49 over Roosevelt. Winner off to the state championship game. Harvard-Westlake leads it by 3, trying to have a second consecutive comeback in the regionals. Had to beat Carlsbad after they were down big at half. Here's their road to the championship. Of course, the Open Division championship win by 7 over Roosevelt. Regional first-round bye, and then squeaking it out over Carlsbad, the Open Division champs from the San Diego section, 73-72. And we'll see what happens here. It's a 1-possession game.
See, they're terrific for ratings, Steve.
Yes. Hey, to start the 4th quarter, that's been terrific for ratings. An 11-3 start for Harvard-Westlake to take their first lead. And now 2 important free throws here for Miles Walker, who has 3 points, all of them in the first half of play.
We talked about these wild card scorers. You know, Burries gets all the press, and obviously he's a tremendous player, but role players also playing a vital role.
That's a big miss. Remember, Perry had 2 big misses down the stretch in the Open Division Section Championship game. Got bailed out by a foul. The 1 of 2 made by Walker. Still a one-possession game. 52-50.
Walker almost came up with a steal. He reminds me of Tyus Jones with Mike Conley.
Yeah.
Lefty point guards.
Good comp. You a real estate agent on the side? 3.5 to go. Here's Hinton, Harvard bound. Trying to drive on the youngster Higgins, who hit a huge three a moment ago. Hamenya now trying to post up. Out it goes, 3 on the way. Carroll missed it. Perry skying in for the offensive rebound, and another foul. This is where he's at his best at the end of the game. He's like the Energizer Bunny. You know?
He just makes winning plays, Steve. You're so right. And again, when a shot goes up, Perry goes here unabated. So you've got to find a white jersey, put a body on him, secure that defensive rebound so that you can get out and run.
Doesn't want his high school career to end in Studio City on his home floor. If they win this, it will end for sure on Saturday, Sacramento. Williamson comes in. Higgins sits.
Be interesting to see how Harvard-Westlake defends here, Steve. Do they extend to try to stunt the Mustangs' offensive efforts? Just give them a different look, give them something to think about, or you just fall back and play man-to-man. Just trust your defensive principles here. Ball pressure, help the helper defense, control the defensive glass.
There's going to be a foul on Hamenya as he fouls Braden Burries. 21 for Trent Perry, 14 of those 21 in the second half, and that is only team foul number 4, so there's not going to be shots here. And it's the 3rd on Hamenya. And here's Burries, exactly 3 minutes to go.
And Hamenya's done a great job on Burries here in the second half, Steve. Got to commend his defense. All the hype that he gets offensively, but he's a great two-way player. That's why it's such a long list of schools recruiting him.
It's a 62-mile bus ride to Roosevelt. They want it to be a happy one and then get on the bus and head to Sacramento. Burries turns on Perry, and buries a huge 3. It's a 1-point game.
Burries is not going to go quietly.
No, he's got 20. What a matchup this is going to be between 0 in white and 5 in navy blue.
Limiting the opposition to 1 shot is paramount from here on out.
Oh, Perry, step back jumper, no good. That's a 1 and done right there, and Walker, he'll pull it out here. He didn't have numbers. Reinforcements were slow to get there. And a steal by Hinton, and stolen back. And a chance here, Burries. This is Copenhagen. Here's Walker, and a timeout to settle things down. Roosevelt calls it here. Inside of 2 minutes to go.
Really good timeout by Coach Singleton. Again, we mentioned it earlier. You have offense operating in front of your own bench. And it was one of those chaotic plays.
Yeah.
And, of course, it's in March. It's a huge spot. Good timeout to get his team settled.
Well, earlier in this building, the Harvard-Westlake girls beat Notre Dame for the 3rd time this season, and they get a chance to advance to the Division II championship game, as you see here. Another win for their head coach, and that was Habis, who was awesome in that first game. Harvard-Westlake, also Deanna Thompson, and so Harvard-Westlake has already booked their trip in girls Division II. They'll play at 2 o'clock on Saturday. The winner of this game facing Salesian versus the Salesian Archbishop Reardon winner. Saturday night, 8 o'clock. And they're already wearing their CIF medals for winning a regional.
That big 3, Steve, of Thompson, Guerrero, and Abisa. Don't remember Bella Spencer tore her ACL.
Yeah.
She accepted the medal, of course, as part of the team, but could not participate for Coach Hurley due to injury this season. A very young, deep Wolverine squad earning that trip to Sacramento, and a great season for Notre Dame. Their first ever trip two-way regional final.
Each week they were putting Band-Aids on that girls roster at Harvard-Westlake. They got all the pieces back here and are 18-18 going to a state championship game, trying to win their second one ever, their first one since 2010. Here, unfinished business. 1-point game, a chance for Roosevelt to take the lead here. I think they'll get it in the hands of number 5. They do. Homenya picks him up. Burries backing in on Homenya, drives right past him and dunks it.
Now that's great coaching. You get the timeout. You get a high percentage shot for your best player where he can operate. Extremely well done to take the lead.
55-54 Roosevelt. Perry with a bounce pass to Homenya, picked up by Slater. Gets the shot up over Slater and reestablishes the lead for the Wolverines. This thing's silly, partner, in Studio City.
Now this is what you call answering the phone. Burries absolutely devastates on one end, and Homenya in acrobatic fashion creating offense with defenders draped all over him. Now, Burries is so good, Steve, at isolation and getting to his spots. And he just kind of spins here a little bit off Homenya. Perry wanted to push off. You're not going to get it. And now on the other end, now remember, that gave the Mustangs the lead back. Then you go to the other end. Homenya gets creative, devastates on their end. And now Harvard-Westlake back with the lead. Just a shade over a minute to go. Tremendous game.
Braden Burries leading all scorers with 22. Trent Perry has 21. Not sure that's the last we've heard of him. Hinton, who's Harvard bound, has 16, and Homenya has 13. 11 for Isaac Williamson. Here's Homenya on the other end. This one over Slater.
Yeah, just a creative offensive play when the Wolverines needed it.
Now, team fouls are 4 apiece, so one more the teams will be in the bonus. The possession arrow points toward Roosevelt in case we have a tie-up. Homenya, all of his points coming in the second half.
And he's had the burden of guarding Burries all night. He's done a great job.
All right, 1-point game. Roosevelt has it. And in the passing lane, Hinton with a steal. They tried to get it to Burries, and Hinton, great anticipation.
It really was, Steve. Sometimes you need a strong ball fake to the corner so Hinton can't help, and then you can deliver it to Burries. But very smart play by Hinton to anticipate, come up with the steal.
1-point game, 15 to shoot, 40 seconds to go game clock. Screen high, Perry drives in, and Perry scores it. Oh, and he's fouled.
Now, you want to talk about a closer. Perry had 42 the other night to preserve a 1-point victory. Hubie Brown says in a closer, what does he do? He wants the shot, can make the shot. If nothing, can create, can make free throws, can pass out of a trap. And that is Perry personified.
23 for Perry, huge free throw. And remember, he missed 2 big free throws down the stretch in the Open Division Championship game. He does it here. It's a 2-possession game. Harvard-Westlake in the lead. Shot clock is off. Mustangs have to have a bucket to stay in this one. On the drive, Williamson, and in and out. They get another opportunity with Burries. Copenhagen missed. Burries got to the loose ball. He'll go to the line for 2.
Right. So now, Burries at the free throw line, which you love. You're going to pressure here, of course. You're in a situation where you have to foul if you do not come up with a steal. You got to foul right away and extend this game. And remember, Harvard-Westlake does not want to foul you. So this is big here, too. Because if you're Harvard-Westlake, if Burries misses this free throw, you must come up with this defensive rebound. But keep an eye on our guys, Slater here, who's in and also Copenhagen.
2-point game, buries both of them. He's got 24 like Trent Perry. They're going to have to foul now or get a steal, and a timeout called by Harvard-Westlake. Again, the possession arrow pointing towards the Mustangs. How about the night Braden Burries has had with 24 points?
Yeah, just an excellent score, excellent size. Avoids the contact with the lane. And we're seeing it here. He can score on all three levels. At the rim, from three, in the mid-range. We were comparing him earlier to DeMar DeRozan, the step back off the dribble. This is a gifted scorer. They're the beneficiary of Walker finding him. He has been absolutely outstanding. Great D by Perry, but he's still able to capitalize. And then this was the one that gave him the 55-54 lead. He's great in that post-up move as well, Steve. So great night for Burries. Perfect from the free throw line. But again, you got it. If you're Harvard-Westlake here, you must embrace this pressure, expect contact, don't necessarily expect a whistle. And for the Mustangs, try to turn them over. If you can't, you get a foul immediately.
Carroll, Ori, Hinton, Homenya, and Perry on the floor for Harvard-Westlake. Burries, Copenhagen, Walker, along with Slater in there. For Roosevelt, they got in the hands of Perry. Here comes the trap, and now he's fouled with 15.4 to go.
So, of course, ideally, you'd like to keep the ball out of Perry's hands, but of course, Coach Rabibo is going to have his best free throw shooters and his best ball handlers on the floor at this juncture. So, you got to live with it.
All right, here's Trenton Perry to the line for two. Remember, they changed the high school rule this year. 7 fouls last year used to be, right, the 1-and-1, you get to 10, you get 2, but this year it's 5, the first 5, and then you have 2 shots automatically in each quarter. Perry calmly knocks it down for his 25th point. 15.4 to go, and this could be the one to put it away here.
Yeah, this is a big one, because if he doesn't miss it, then Coach Rabibo's got to decide, I'm defending and leading by 3. Do I foul or defend?
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of time on the clock still, but the 3 is such a easy shot.
They're going to get Amir Jones back in. Now it's a 4-point game, so the Mustangs have to go quick. They got to get into the hands of Burries here.
And just attack, Steve. They don't want you. Harvard-Westlake does not want to foul you here, so just go right at the basket.
Yep. Here's Williamson. Williamson knows that. He drives in, and he's fouled with 9.5 to go. That almost was a 3-point play.
Yeah. Now, you have to commend Jones for defending here, and his right hand kind of makes contact. So Williamson with an opportunity here. Cut the lead to 2.
That's a big free throw right there for the junior. Transferred in from Riverside Poly with Braden Burries, and both him and Burries missed all of last year as a result. They couldn't get him eligible. And so they have this one chance here, and they'll both be back next year. And he made both of them, 61-59, 9.5 to go. You go for the quick steal, and then you give up the foul, and they're going to give up the foul before even the inbound, so they weren't even going for the steal. Now you're going to force Harvard-Westlake here to make their free throws. And the thing is, it's not going to be Perry at the free throw line here. Or is it? No, I think it's going to be, see, I thought it was Homenya coming up. We have a 5th foul on Williamson, so Williamson has fouled out. So they get Copenhagen back in. It's going to be Trent Perry for 2.
Williamson had a great night, great effort. He's understandably disappointed to foul out. Made those 2 prodigious free throws.
Andy Enfield's still here. He's standing in the doorway. He's moved his seat. 27. Boy, how calmly he knocks these down. Like, been there, done that, and he has. He's a defending Open Division champ. He had 25 in this regional final last year at Centennial on the road. Popped his shoulder out, and got it right back in for state. 28 for Perry. Here's Walker. Walker. And they're taking their time. Ball is lost, and that's it. Harvard-Westlake rallies from down 11 to get back to the Open Division championship game. Well, now they need 2 buses, one for the girls and one for the boys. And they'll try and do something that only Mater Dei and Sierra Canyon have ever done. That's win back-to-back boys Open Division championships. 28 for Perry. And he got 21 of those in the second half.
You see the raw emotion here from Perry, Amenya, Coach Rabibo. And this is a team that trailed by 10 on their home floor, Steve, at the half, and really turned it around. Great effort, and a great effort as well by Roosevelt.
Yep, down by as many as 11, and they come back and win it.
They had 25
16
at the half,
yeah. No, it was a great second half. That's a great point. And they win it by 4, 63-59. They're 32-3. They still have some unfinished business. Not sure what that look was all about, but a chance to defend their Open Division state championship. Meantime, Roosevelt, heck of a season. All that talent, the 4 really good guards, drops to 31-4. Absolutely nothing for the 2 seed to hang their head over.
Yeah, great season. Yep. And listen, this was a terrific effort on the road. Such a well-coached team, deep, talented. Burries, Copenhagen, Williamson, Slater, Walker, Hagens. And Igbogu, who endured some foul trouble that impacted this game as well.
Well, I think Roosevelt, if everybody comes back, you know, Burries and Williamson and Hagens, Walker, you know, you have 3 seniors and a junior to build around. You'll lose Igbogu and Slater. You would have to think Roosevelt's going to be one of the favorites to get back here to this Open Division championship.
Absolutely.
Of course, like, you know, Sierra Canyon will reload.
And Burries is a special player. So gifted offensively, can score in all 3 areas, at the rim, in the mid-range. He was perfect from the free throw line as well. Can shoot from long range.
All right, we're going to turn it over to the in-house PA announcer for the celebration here.
Wearing number 15, Jason Wilson. Wearing number 13, Quentin Corenzo. Wearing number 12, Isaac Williamson. Wearing number 11, Dominic Copenhagen. Wearing number 10, Joshua Daly. Wearing number 5 and scoring a big 24 points this evening, Braden Burries. Wearing number 4, Jackson Higgins. Wearing number 2, Miles Walker. And wearing number 0, Darnez Slater. And now the Champions Trophy presentation to your 2024 CIF-State Regional Boys Open Division Champions, the The administrators for the Wolverines this evening, Terry Barnum, Head of Athletics, and Matt McCord, Athletic Director. The Wolverines are coached by David Rabivo. And now let's welcome the members of this year's championship team. Starting with Trey McNeely. Up next, Rohan Amin. Wearing number 34, Baron Linekin. Wearing number 25, Bryce Williams. Number 24, Isaiah Carroll. Number 21, Josh Engelberg. Number 13, Nicolo Kalisher-Snort. Number 12, Jassi Zinn. Number 11, Pierce Thompson. Number 10, Cole Holden. Number 5, Kian Dalawala. Number 3, Amir Jones. Number 1, Marcus George. And let's run the starters one more time. Wearing number 30, Dominique Bento. Wearing number 4, Nicholas Hamenya. And the 3 seniors, number 15, 8 claps for Christian Ori. Number 2, Robert Hinton. And with an encore, 28 points to follow the 42 ball, the McDonald's All-American, wearing number 0, Trent Perry. Congratulations to the Wolverines on back-to-back regional finals championships.
So it's going to be Harvard-Westlake against Salesian, 8 p.m. Saturday night in Sacramento for the Open Division Championship. And Harvard-Westlake will try and do something that only Mater Dei and Sierra Canyon have done before at the Open Division. That's win back-to-back titles. So Harvard-Westlake with a second straight, second half comeback to claim the second straight SoCal Open Division regional title. Wolverines get a chance to defend that Open Division state title Saturday night in Sacramento. Well, Bill Herenda, final thought here, how well the 28 points with Perry and Burries played?
Yeah, they were both terrific. And listen, call in sick on Friday. You're not going to work on Saturday. You know where you're going to be. Spectrum News 1, Spectrum Sportsnet. Can't wait for Sacramento. All
right, for my partner, Bill Herenda, our great team in the truck, I'm Steve Quist. We'll talk to you again Friday night from Sacramento. Final score again, Harvard-Westlake repeats as SoCal Open Division boys champs, 63-59. They'll join the women in Sacramento on Saturday. Good evening, everybody.